Biden calls J.D. Vance a Trump clone, as Democrats label him an extremist. Democrats seized on former President Donald J. Trump's selection of Senator J.D. Vance of Ohio as his running mate on Monday, calling Mr. Vance an extremist whose views on abortion, tax cuts, and the results of the 2020 election would repel many Americans. Mr. Vance, 39, entered the Senate only last year and has closely allied himself with the MAGA movement after attacking Mr. Trump during the 2016 election. Before boarding Air Force One on Monday for campaign events in Las Vegas, President Biden told reporters that Mr. Vance was a clone of Trump on the issues and said he did not see any difference between them. Mr. Biden's campaign chair, Jen O'Malley Dillon, said on a call with reporters that Mr. Vance would bend over backwards to enable Trump and his extreme anti-GA agenda, even if it means breaking the law. Among other issues, she called out his false statements that the 2020 election had been stolen. Jaime Harrison, the chairman of the Democratic National Committee, said in a statement that Mr. Vance had championed and enabled Trump's worst policies for years, from a national abortion ban to whitewashing January 6 to railing against Social Security and Medicare. Ever since the debate, Democrats have been looking for an opportunity to move the spotlight away from concerns about Mr. Biden's age and back to Mr. Trump's policies and his temperament. The long-awaited announcement of a GOP vice presidential candidate gave them the chance to do exactly that, imparting a jolt of energy into a Biden campaign that has been fighting for its survival. It also gave Democrats a chance to ridicule Mr. Trump, at least indirectly, at a time when the attempt on his life has forced them to slow down their attacks. Allies of Mr. Biden wasted no time assailing Mr. Vance on Monday. They especially targeted comments he made on social media on Saturday that language from Democrats had led directly to President Trump's attempted assassination. Mr. Vance had singled out Biden campaign messaging that Mr. Trump was an authoritarian who poses a threat to American democracy. Representative Robert Garcia of California said in an interview that Mr. Vance's attempt to blame Democrats for the shooting had been shameful and demonstrated his extremism. That's the kind of rhetoric that directly leads to political violence, said Mr. Garcia, a frequent Biden surrogate. There couldn't be a more irresponsible pick than Senator J.D. Vance. How poor sleep affects your risk of dementia. 36 hours in Izmir, Turkey. How to avoid paying vacation rental fees. Reaction was also swift from Democratic groups representing young people, labor unions, progressives, and communities of color. A Trump-Vance White House is a corporate CEO's dream and a worker's nightmare, Liz Schuler, the president of the AFL-CIO, said in a statement. Voters of Tomorrow, which is organizing members of Generation Z for the Biden campaign, said that J.D. Vance has made clear he opposes everything Gen Z stands for, citing his positions on climate change, gun violence, and the 2020 election. Mr. Vance's track record on abortion also was criticized. During his Senate campaign, he signaled support for a 15-week federal abortion ban and said he did not believe in exceptions for rape or incest. Fury about attacks on abortion rights is one of the biggest things fueling base Democrats right now, Leah Greenberg, a co-founder of the progressive grassroots group Indivisible, said in a statement. Our people are going to fight like hell to defeat this ticket.